So we have already completed module 3, all the theoretical part. Let us now to the question bank, and first we'll see the short questions from the question bank. I have already given the answer, but still how the answers have come, let us discuss that. Then we'll go to the long question. The first question is write down the method of excitation of DC machine with proper circuit diagram. So see different type of DC machines, as you know, separately self excited. So under separately excited we have DC generator. C, in DC generator we have the generated EMF as the supply from the armature. Once it is the motor, separately excited motor, then the supply will be there from the load side. Supply direction like this is the supply direction. Next, shunt machine, because under self excited we have shunt generator and shunt motor. First shunt generator, supply will be here, this one will be the load. To load the current will be going here, from load side the current will be coming. Shunt generator motor. Series, in series the field winding will be connected in series, field winding will be connected in series. Here the supply will be in this way, here the supply will be from that side. Next part is compound. Under compound we have long shunt, then we have, this is long shunt because the shunt field winding will be shunted with armature as well as series field winding. Okay, and this is the same in case of motor. This is generator, from this side the current will be going towards load, here from load side the current will be coming to the armature. Next we have short shunt, already you have seen. This is long shunt, this short shunt diagram is not properly given. Here you can see that this winding will be not here, this one will be here, this winding will be here, and this series winding will be here, this part. Okay, because this winding will be only shunted, this shunt field winding will be only shunted with the armature part. Here this one will be only shunted with the armature part. The series field winding will be connected in series with the load, it will be connected in series with the load. Clear? Next, second question, voltage equation of DC shunt motor. Voltage equation DC shunt motor means what? It will be V as equals to EB plus IARA. Clear? Because already I have shown this one in the means class lecture. There we have seen V as equals to EB, because as it is motor, then supply voltage is V. If suppose it would be generator, then EB would be equals to V plus IARA. Once it is motor, the voltage supply is the main supply, so here V as equals to EB plus IARA. Next. So next we'll see a numerical. See how the numerical is being solved. A DC shunt motor develops 200 volt. That means this is the develop this much of volt means what? The supply voltage, your develop this much of volt at no load condition. When there will be no load condition, the developed voltage is equals to your EB, back EMF. Clear? You have to remember this one. Back EMF is same as you. If the load will not be there for a motor or for a generator, your EB will be equals to V. Clear? While running at 1200 RPM, that means your N is given to be 1200. Machine has 4 poles, P is equals to 4. 10 lap connected winding. Lap connected winding means A is equals to P. Clear? You can write A as equals to P. Calculate the number of flux per pole. The flux per pole, you have to find out the value of phi. Calculate the shunt field current if the resistance of the shunt field is given to be 200 ohm. So what is given? See, EB is equals to V, which is equals to how much? 200. That is equals to P 4 N 1200. Phi is not given. Phi. Z, number of conductor, is 100 divided by 60 into A is equals to P, 60 multiplied by P. So phi is equals to how much? 0.1 Weber if you will be calculating this value from this equation. Next, shunt field resistance. See, your under no load condition V is equals to your EB. So you can write that V divided by RSH as equals to ISH. You can write, see the diagram. This one is actually the diagram. This is the diagram. In this diagram, suppose this is the motor diagram. If V is given, RSH is given, then what will be ISH? V divided by RSH. Okay, so in that way we have calculated that value. Next question, explain back EMF in a DC motor. I have already told you that back EMF is nothing but EMF is created in the motor once the motor will be rotating, because the supply voltage, once it will be rotating, the EMF will be induced. That EMF will be always opposing the cause as per Lenz's law, and that EMF will be always opposing the cause. What is the cause here? Supply voltage. So that is why the EMF which is induced in the DC motor, that EMF is known as back EMF, whose expression is also same as the generated EMF in DC generator. Next, what is the function of brushes and commutator in DC machine? Brushes to collect the current, commutator to convert the AC into DC. Write the speed equation of a DC motor and explain each term. So what is speed equation? N as equals to 60A, because EB as equals to Pn phi z divided by 60A. So what will be N? 60A into EB divided by P phi z. What is P, what is phi, what is Z? You have to write that. Write down the induced EMF expression of a DC generator and name the various term. Induced EMF is EB, DC generator. Sorry, you have to write this one as EG, generated EMF, not back EMF. There will be a mistake. Here you have to write EG. EG equals to Pn phi z by 60A. What are these terms? You have to write. Explain the principle of DC motor as how does it work. The principle of DC motor I have told you, whenever the current carrying conductor is placed inside a magnetic field, a force is experienced. Clear? And that is generally Lorentz law. That force, whatever is experienced, that is as per Lorentz law, which states that you have to write this principle as I told you. Clear? Next, single phase transformer. Question from transformer. Very simple. Single phase transformer develops 200 volt at the secondary terminal at no load condition. If the secondary winding has 1000 turns, means it is corresponding to the EMF equation. No load means it is like your EMF equation. Clear? No load means there will be no current. As there will be no current in the secondary, you can say no loss, almost no loss. So always in a transformer, whatever the loss will be there, that loss in the secondary part. Primary, there will be very negligible amount of losses. So no load condition is also considered as is equivalent to the ideal transformer. So this is related to your EMF equation. See, this question has been already solved. See, no load V2 as equals to, you have to write the EMF equation. What is the value of phi m? It is asked. Why the core of the transformer is laminated? The core of the transformer is laminated to reduce the eddy current losses. Write down the EMF equation of a single phase transformer. What will be the EMF equation? You have to write this one. Transform 400 turns on the high voltage winding used to step down. High voltage winding step down. Step down means what? Primary will be high voltage, secondary will be low voltage. Step down. So voltage from 240 to 120. That means V2 is equals to 120, V1 as equals to 240. N1 is given because high voltage winding turns is given. So N1 is given. Now you have to find out the value of N2. So how to find out? You know the voltage transformation ratio. From that one you can find it out. Next question is, what do you mean by sleep? Sleep I have already told you, of a 3-phase induction motor. Calculate the synchronous speed sleep of 6-pole induction motor running at 1140 rpm. Induction motor running at 1140 rpm. So what is the meaning of that? This is the speed of the induction motor. Clear? Being connected to 60 or 3-phase AC source. Frequency is given. Clear? What is sleep? You already know. The difference between the synchronous speed and actual speed is known as sleep. How it is represented? You have seen that. Next, synchronous speed is asked. 120F divided by P. Already you have seen the expression. As equals to this much. Sleep as equals to Ns minus N divided by Ns. You have to apply this formula. You can find out the sleep. Clear? Next, what do you understand by synchronous speed of 3-phase induction motor? You have to write that. What is synchronous speed? Revolving magnetic field is known as synchronous speed. The speed of the revolving magnetic field is known as synchronous speed. Write the torque slip characteristics. Torque slip characteristics, this is the characteristics. Clear or not? This is for different values of phase. We have taken different graphs. Clear? 3-phase induction motor, 4-pole, 50 Hz induction motor runs. Calculate. What is the frequency of rotor current? What is frequency of rotor current? S multiplied by F. Frequency already given. S you have to first calculate. So S multiplied by F is known as frequency of rotor current. Draw the phasor diagram of an ideal transformer at no load. Already you have drawn I0, V1, and the angle between V1 and I0 is phi 0. This is magnetizing component, this is working component. Already I have shown this phasor diagram. What is the function of capacitor in a three-phase induction motor? Actually, what happens here, already you have seen three-phase induction motor, sorry, single-phase induction motor. If, see, this is a single-phase induction motor. This is already you have seen the single-phase induction motor. Here also you can use a capacitor. Here you can also use a capacitor. Why the capacitor? Capacitor is used. First of all, it is used for the starting purpose. First point is it is used in the starting winding here. This is known as capacitor start. Clear? Starting winding. And again, now this capacitor, once will be adding the capacitor with a inductor, then the power factor always increases. So whenever the power factor will be increasing, the torque will be proportional to the power factor. Torque will be proportional to power factor, earlier you have seen. So as the torque will be proportional to the power factor, why capacitor, once you have seen in single phase AC circuit, in single phase AC circuit already you have seen in single phase AC circuit you have already seen, if this is the value of VR, this one will be VL. See, originally this one will be your phi. If phi will be more, then cos phi will be less. Okay, cos phi will be less. So see, now once I will be adding a capacitance, it is BC. So this one will be your VL minus BC. So if this is VL minus BC, then now the phi reduced. So as the value of phi will be reducing, the value of cos phi will be increasing. So by adding a capacitor in a circuit, then inductor, along with the inductor, always the power factor increases. So once the power factor increases, what happens here? If I'll be adding a capacitor along with this one, then here we can increase the power factor. If the power factor is increased, then the value of the torque will be increasing, because torque is proportional to the power factor. So to have a very high torque at the beginning, the motor, this is nothing but a fan motor. Single phase induction motor is a fan motor. So if I'll be adding the capacitance at the beginning, then what happens? The initial torque will be more, which is the requirement of the motor, requirement of the fan motor. So that is why for the starting purpose we'll be using the capacitor to increase the initial power factor. Clear? So what is the next question? The next question is, write down the condition for getting an ideal transformer. What is the condition? There will be no losses, there will be no winding resistance. That is the condition. Why the single phase induction motor are not self-starting? Because here the single phase induction motor cannot produce a revolving magnetic field due to a single phase winding. To convert the single phase means current, or one current into two current, will be using another winding, clear, which can split the current into two halves, so that we can have two number of fluxes to produce a revolving magnetic flux. That point you have to write. So next we will go to the MCQ. MCQ in module 3. This is actually the MCQ in unit 3. The EMF induced in DC generator is always AC. Always the AC EMF is always AC in nature. Commutator in DC used to convert the AC armature current into DC. AC to DC. In a DC machine, yoke offers. See, yoke means that frame, mechanical protection to the machine. Flux part also it also provides, because it provides the path to flow the flux to that air gap. Next, if the number of conductors and speed of the lap winding is doubled, then the generator will be 4 times the. See, here nothing you have to do. Induced EMF expression you have to write. EG. EG as equal generated EMF. Pn phi z divided by 60A. What is telling? Speed. Speed n in the numerator, it is doubled. Next, number of conductor Z. Pn phi z, Z in the numerator, it is doubled. So do into 2, 4 times it will be increasing. Next, the armature of the DC generator is laminated. Lamination means to reduce the eddy current loss. lap winding, the number of brushes is always equals to same as the number. See, number of brushes, it will be depending on the number of conductors also. So if there will be having two number of brushes, where in wave winding, in lap winding will be having p number of brushes, that you have to remember. The function of pole shoe means that shoe through which the fluxes will be coming out, to discharge the above function, to reduce the reluctance of the, yes, because it has to reduce the value of, you can say, the losses also. Second point is to spread the flux, to support the field coil, because the field coil also will be wound over that particular core and core shoe. Clear? So that's why all these three will be coming under this one. The generated EMF. The generated EMF of a DC generator is directly proportional to, you know this one, generated, what is given? Pn phi z, phi, speed, number of pole, all. So the DC generator works in the principle of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. The terminal voltage of a series generator is 150 volt. That means V is given as 150 volt. And the load current is 5 ampere. IL is given to be 5 ampere. If the current is increased to 10 ampere, so current is increased to 10 ampere, the terminal voltage will be greater than 150 volt. So see, now if the current will be increasing, what happens? The voltage at the load also will be increasing. Clear or not? So originally you had the voltage as equals to 150 volt. Clear? Now as the current will be increasing, then definitely the voltage, because V will be equals to IR there. So if I will be increasing, then definitely whatever the earlier voltage will be there, it will be increasing greater than 150. These days DC motors are widely known as electric traction, because electric traction means generally you can say locomotive. Electric traction means locomotive, you will be using DC motor. Clear? Locomotive means what? Train, series motor is used. Clear or not? Crane, compound motor is used. So where these are actually your, we can say, the traction purpose. Clear? So next, for which of the following application DC motor is preferred as AC motor? See, AC motor generally what happens? Mostly AC motor you have seen, it will be having constant speed motor. But whenever the speed is varied or speed variation is required, then we will be using generally DC motor. So DC motor generally we can use for speed variation. Okay. Yes. So for speed variation we can have the DC motors. A transformer core is laminated, reduce the hysteresis loss. The path of magnetic flux in the transformer would have what? Low reluctance. Generally, you know, primary winding of a transformer could be either low voltage or it is not that always. We can have step ups or step down. The voltage rating in kVA. The ideal transformer, no losses, no magnetic leakage. The NS synchronous speed, the actual running, you know this one. Next, induction motor or 100 rpm speed will be, the induction motor with 100 speed will be 6 volts. The induction motor with 1000 rpm. An induction motor with 100,000 rpm speed. Generally, you know the frequency is 50 hertz. So if it is given, if it is not given, you have to take 50. So take frequency as 50. Do the calculation like this. Take the frequency as 50 and do the calculation like this. See how to calculate it. NS as equals to 120F divided by P, P as equals to 120F by P. So finally 60 by 10 you will get 6. So here the answer will be 6. So next, slip ring by motor is prefer over squirrel cage. Already I have told you, because you
short circuit
in slip ring you have variable speed, as well as here also you have high starting torque, because once the torque you can change, here you can change the value of the torque. If you will be decreasing the resistance value, then ultimately the current will be increasing there. Once the current will be increasing, the torque also will be increasing. Clear or not? So high torque is preferable here. Three-phase slip ring induction motor, okay, has wound rotor. Actually, why it is known as wound rotor, three-phase slip ring motor? Because here the windings will be there. There the windings will be there. What winding? Three-phase star connected winding will be there. So that is why that is also known as the wound rotor. Wound rotor or squirrel cage rotor. That is also known as wound rotor. Okay. So sorry, a slip ring is known as slip ring in the means rotor is also known as the wound kind of rotor. Why? Because here the windings will be there, but there you have permanently short circuited bars. Where? In squirrel cage. In slip ring, windings will be there. Next one is a 500 kilowatt 3 phase 440 volt 50 horse AC induction motor, has a speed of 960 rpm. The machine has 6 pole. The slip, see, 500 kilowatt, just leave this one. 440 volt also you leave this one. 50 horse frequency, 50 hertz is given as the frequency. Clear? Pole is given to be 6 pole. Frequency is given. Pole is number of pole is given. Speed of the induction motor is given. So you can find out the slip, because first NS as equals 120 F divided by PF is given. P is given. Clear? So it is very simple. Okay, you can find it out and you will see that the slip will be calculated at 0.04. The capacitor start and run motor of function of running capacitor in series winding is to improve the power factor. Clear? Split phase means the first which I explained. Single phase induction motor. The starting winding is connected through centrifugal switch. You have already seen. The running conditions, no, starting winding is only connected. Motor used, see, you have to remember this point. Motor used in mixer and in compressor. It's a very important question. In mixer, it is capacitor start. In compressor, it is capacitor run. Clear? Capacitor start, capacitor run. Which motors are generally used? In mixer and compressor, capacitor start, capacitor run. Capacitor start and capacitor run means what? In running winding one capacitor will be there, in starting winding one capacitor will be there, because these are the machines, particularly these are the machine which will be mixer. It will be means needing high starting torque. So when the starting torque you need much more higher, then two capacitors you have to use. One is in starting, one will be in running, because in running also you need high mixer. Load will be continuously given, grinder load will be continuously being given. Clear or not? So at every running condition also you need much more higher torque. So for that one you will be using one in the starting, one in the running. So mixer or grinder, anywhere you can see that mixer, grinder or compressor. So these are the machines particularly or equipments which will be using very high starting as well as running torque. So when starting and running torque both are high, we have to use capacitor start and capacitor run motor. Clear?